Hey ladies, it's Alexis. I'm coming through with a new YouTube video on organizing your finances for 2020. I'm so excited about the new year. I have clear financial goals, and I know in order for me to achieve those goals, I need to be organized and focused. So what better way than for me to create a budget binder? I know it says 2019. I'm probably gonna put some washi tape over that, but this is specifically for 2020. So jumping right into this binder, not wanting to waste any time, I have this binder split up into 5 sections. In the first section, because it's the first thing that I want to see when I open this binder, is my financial overview. And this is where I will have my financial goals. Financial goals as far as getting out of debt and saving money. So that is the first thing that I have in this section when I open it up, and I plan on filling this. We're in the month of December, so I plan on filling this out before the new year. I already have an idea of where I want to be financially by the end of the year. So I will just be putting those things on writing, therefore I can put them into action. So I have a couple pages of sections where I can write out my financial goals, and then I have an overview of the year 2020 in a calendar form. That way I can just, see where I am. I can use this to actually circle paydays and things like that. And also I have the calendar months printed. So these, you can actually just Google 2020 calendar templates and print these out if you plan on creating a budget binder, if this is something that you want to do. I will be using this particular calendar to write in what I spent for each day, and also I want to have no spending days. Yes to no spending days. If you don't know what no spending days are, it's basically days that you don't spend any money. Now, anytime that I do spend money, I want to be able to write that in on that day. For example, if I go to Target, y'all know Target is a setup. You go in there, you think you're gonna spend $15, you end up walking out of Target with $150 worth of stuff. So if I end up spending $50 on the 13th, just using that as an example, I would put $50 here. And then if I was to spend $10 on this day, the 14th, I would write $10 here. Maybe the 15th, I didn't spend any money, so I wouldn't put anything there. But then I get to go back and see, how much I spent for the week or how much I spent for the day. And then I can sit down and have a talk with myself and be like, Alexis, you're on timeout, you spent too much money. I think it's so important to keep track of how much you spend so that you can try to, get control over those bad spending habits. Was this spending necessary? Or was this a need more so, or was it a want? And so that you're able to correct yourself in those areas. Now, some of this stuff is, I know it's a little bit repetitive, and you'll see in the next section, because I have a budget section and I have all my monthly expenses, but then I have this section where it has bills, and you're basically writing, bills, which are expenses. So I might just convert these 2 sections into one. I'm not sure yet, you guys, but if you do decide to do a budget binder, whatever works for you, you don't have to do it how I'm doing it, do it in your own way. But this section, I'll be able to see what my monthly expenses are, what the expense is, what was the budgeted amount, and what was the actual amount spent, and what was the difference. So if there's a difference, like if you save money on that expense, you can just throw that extra money towards debt or towards savings. That's a great idea. Just throwing that out there. And then, like I said, I know this is a little bit repetitive because you're kind of doing the same thing. But here are my monthly bills. They will be listed. What was the amount that I paid and what is the payment due date. So this is a great resource to be able to see when my payments are due. That way I'm making sure that I pay my bills on time, because you know I want to keep that credit score high, and paying your bills on time does affect your credit. And then again, this is another expense sheet, which is the same in the prior section, so I might just convert those two sections together. Debt, this needs its own section. Me personally, I have a car note, I have a mortgage, and I have credit card debt. And so I really don't count my mortgage towards my debt when it comes to tracking my net worth, and I may do a whole nother video on that. But I don't really include my mortgage in that. But credit card debt and things like that, student loans, I want to hurry up and pay off. And so I want to track those debts. And tracking it, I love tracking it, because you get to see, for example, if you start off with a debt for $2,500 and you're just throwing money at that debt, and a couple months go by, you get to see that a lot of that debt you knocked off, you paid off. And so that's why I love tracking debt. I think that's why it's so important to track your debt. And here's another debt pay down worksheet that I got online. Again, I will try to link those printable resources in the description below. Don't worry, guys, I will do that. This came from debt-free charts, and basically you can Google it. A lot of people in the debt-free community, they keep track by putting their total debt, and they just color in as they go. And when this thing is full, that means that debt is paid off. Hallelujah, amen. Thank you, Jesus. I am praying for debt freedom. Savings tracker. What is your savings goal? You can write it here. And as you add money to your savings, you can track the amount you're adding and the balance. It is so important to have an emergency fund with at least 6 months of expenses. So I do highly recommend, if you don't have a savings account, if you don't have an emergency fund, go online, search some of those bank accounts, those internet bank accounts that are paying those high interest rates. And when I say high, they're not really that high, but they will pay more than your average bank. So go ahead and do your research in that area, and open up you a savings account. Make sure you have an emergency fund. A lot of people, statistics show that a lot of people do not have enough money to cover a $1,000 emergency. So that is so important. So I have some, goal sheets. Here's like a savings goal sheet for my IRA. I know with the IRA, the max that you can put in, I believe for 2020 is $6,000. And so this is a sheet where I get to track my progress on contributing to my IRA. So these are just, it's a short binder, very straight to the point. I'm excited about using it. I'm excited about tracking my debt and seeing that debt just get paid off, seeing that savings account grow. And I'm just really excited about doing this in 2020. I hope that this video encourages you to get your financial house in order, get organized with your finances. Don't be scared. I know when you start the debt-free journey and when you start your journey to building wealth, it could be a little bit overwhelming when you start to write down where you are, and you get to see, what damage you've done so far. You just have to forgive yourself and, learn from our mistakes as far as what we did and how we got in debt, and just try to do better. So I hope that this video encourages you, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and just subscribe. And you guys have a blessed night. Enjoy. Thank you guys for tuning in. Goodbye.